Hello and welcome to Flagstaff TV. Today we are joined by George Bennett, who is the CEO of Rainbow Rare Earths. George, thank you very much for joining us today.
Morning, thank you for having me again.
George, can you start by telling us a bit more about your new licensing agreement that you've just signed with K Technologies?
I'd love to. K Technologies are a technology company based in Florida, the United States, and they've been developing continuous ion exchange and continuous ion chromatography technology, which is used to separate rare earth elements, specifically from phosphogypsum. This technology, in fact, has been around since the 1940s, where it was used originally on the Manhattan Project, which is the nuclear program during the Second World War, which was used to separate uranium and thorium out of the minerals that we're looking at the time to make the atomic bomb. So it's been around a long time. It's been gone through various phases of development, and it's actually been bench tested as well as been piloted by K-Tech, and it's then been applied in other industries. So it is tested, and it's not something that is totally new, as I've just said. It's been around for a long time in development. The key thing was that it was initially used to do batch type of processing steps, with the ion exchange and the ion chromatography, and they developed it into a continuous process, which then reduced your capex and your opex, which is very significant. Where it plays for Rainbow is that this technology allows Rainbow to not stop at a mixed rare earth carbonate as we were going to do at Petaborwa. Remember, the Petaborwa project is unique in the fact that we don't have to crack our materials in mineral form already on the gypsum stacks, and we can go straight to producing the cerium depleted oxide and the mixed rare earth carbonates. And now we will be able to go further downstream, which there are very few projects I'm aware of in the world that go further downstream than the mixed rare earth carbonate or mixed rare earth oxide, and that we'll be able to go into individually separated rare earth oxides. So what happens is that at the moment at Petaborwa, we'll leach the rare earths from the gypsum into a pregnant leach solution. And that leach solution then would have been filtered and would have eventually ended up as a mixed rare earth carbonate. As I said, I don't want to get too technical, but that's where we would have ended at Petaborwa. With us investigating this technology and now signing it for Rainbow, we are able to, from the filtered solution, we can keep the rare earths in the solution, and then instead of going to a mixed rare earth carbonate stage, we can go straight into the K-Tech technology, which will be able to go into separated rare earth oxides, as I say, and produce a saleable product, which means that we'll be able to capture the full revenue from a mixed rare earth oxide rather than suffering a discount where we would have had it for our product in the mixed rare earth carbonate. So it's very exciting for Rainbow. We capture far more of the revenue stream, somewhere between 20 and 30% more than we would have if we'd stopped at the mixed rare earth carbonate. And normally, if we'd only produce a mixed rare earth carbonate, like some of the other projects being developed around the world, that then still would have been shipped somewhere to be further processed into separated rare earth oxides, which would then go into the individual uses like permanent magnets and so forth. But Rainbow are able to go all the way down to a mixed rare earth, a separated rare earth oxide rather than stopping at the mixed rare earth carbonate stage, which is a big add-on for Rainbow. Another big add-on for Rainbow is that because we are going straight from solution into the mixed rare earth oxide separation process, we save a lot of capex and opex, which is very, very important for any rare earth project. So we'll have a big capex saving, we'll have a big opex saving. The beauty about the K-Tech technologies is that they only go through 3 stages before they produce a mixed rare earth, where they produce a separated rare earth oxide. And with the conventional solvent extraction method of producing separated rare earth oxides, these entail literally hundreds of steps, which means lots of capex, lots of opex. We literally are down to 3 steps with this K-Tech technology, which will obviously produce a massive saving in opex and capex, we believe. So we're very excited about it.
Sounds great for your company, and also some very interesting history there on the technology. What does the agreement mean for Rainbow Rare Earths going forward?
Well, we've got exclusive rights to apply this technology to any opportunity in the SADC region, which is largely Southern Africa. And basically, we've got 4 years of exclusive rights to apply to a project, and then thereafter it'll be renewed once we start applying it to projects. But once we apply it to a project, it sticks with the life of the project, so that'd be 18 or 20 years. And we pay a one-off licensing fee of $5.5 million for the first project. And for every other project we apply this to thereafter, the licensing fee drops by $1 million a time until eventually the bottom price is $3 million per project. But very importantly, we're not paying a royalty on the Phalaborwa project like a typical mining project, because this is a chemical processing project. And the $5.5 million once we apply to Phalaborwa will be less than 0.2% of the revenue that the project will generate, in terms of if you had to think of that in terms of a royalty, whereas normally we'd be paying on a typical mining project 3 to 4% royalty on revenue. This works out at less than 0.2% as a percentage of the revenue we anticipate the project will generate on an annual basis.
Thank you, George. It sounds like a good deal there. Do you have any more updates that you'd like to share with us today?
Yes, well, the preliminary economic assessment that we kicked off a few weeks ago is going very well. We are progressing our flow sheet in the right direction, which is optimizing the reagents in use, and which is a key part of the IRR of the project. But the one slight problem we do have is that with the COVID problems being experienced by ANSTO laboratories in Australia, our PEA now will be delayed from October to be targeting the end of November now. But it's purely as a result of the COVID implications that we're seeing in Australia. Just lastly, I'd like to point out that the KTEC technology is a much greener technology out there. It doesn't use things like kerosene like you see in solvent extraction technology, and it makes for much safer, less hazardous, and far greener technology. So the fact that the Phalaborwa project itself is a green project, because we're cleaning up these 2 gypsum stacks and generating benign gypsum thereafter, it just adds to the green credentials of the Phalaborwa project.
That's good to know. Thank you very much, George. And thank you for your time today.
Pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for watching Flagstaff TV.